I'm here to talk to you about field marshals and their roles on game day. I've been involved with the TCYFL for the last 8 years, 4 years as a field marshal. It's important that you understand that I'm here to help you. At all times, communicate with me if you have any questions or concerns. It's best if you can arrive at the field an hour and a half or so before your game time. That way you'll give yourself plenty of time to communicate with the field marshal, familiarize yourself with the layout of the stadium, and then be prepared to do what has to be done so that the game can start on time. Generally, the weigh-in is going to be conducted an hour before your game time, no later than halftime of the previous game. Again, the key is communicate with me as soon as you arrive at the stadium. Your roster is an important document that it needs to be completed correctly. The roster is a record for us to use to understand what happened on that day. Have 3 copies of that roster available. You can never have too many copies of your roster. You want to make sure that your boys are listed in number order from lowest to highest. Your backfield, all 4 players need to be designated on the roster. Older, lighter, younger, heavier, and the exceptions, mark it. If a kid is sick, if he's going to be absent for whatever reason, mark it on the record, on the roster. The roster is shared amongst the teams, it's the officials, anyone involved with the league can review that roster to determine just exactly how that game was set up. Familiarize yourself with the weight criteria for your team. The weight criteria is important, and it will be followed during the weigh-in procedure. So you as a coach need to know the older, lighter criteria. They need to know the younger, heavier weight criteria and the exception player rules. If you know those things, when we actually step on the scale, things can move more quickly. You won't have a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, because you'll already know the rules. For the boys that are close to the weight limit, make sure that they're ready to step on the scale when their time comes. That means shoes and socks off to the side. They need to be dressed in the minimum gear for weigh-in. And that way we can keep the weigh-in going quickly and we can get it done with. We get in and out and ready to play the game. I can't overemphasize the importance of you knowing the weight limits. Every year we have kids come in, they're just way overweight. And it doesn't help anyone. It prolongs the process in every way. So if you can know that ahead of time, you can take steps to make sure that it's addressed before game day. Let's get one thing straight. The field marshal is not the bad guy. We want every kid to play, every kid that's ready to play. That means coaches, parents need to understand the weight limits. And don't bring a kid into the weight room if he's not ready to play. Yes, it's a safety thing, and the field marshal is obligated to make sure that the guidelines are followed. The key to making this whole thing work is that we keep it safe for everyone. If you can observe the weight guidelines, all the kids that came to play that day can get into the game and have a positive experience. So what I need you to remember is that I'm here to help you. So if you have any questions or concerns, it could be about the field conditions, it could be about the timekeeper, the officials, the concessions, come to me. I'm here to help you with those issues. My role is to make sure that the conditions are in place for your games to be carried out without hassle, and that way you can focus on coaching the kids.